Well, hello, hello, hello. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. How are you? It's your favorite real estate diva, Miss Delisa Robinson. Hey, I am live on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So if you have not followed one of those pages, please do so. While we waiting for everybody to get in here and get crazy and get situated, we are doing a Q&A. This is for everybody who wants to learn how to wholesale real estate. You had questions, you didn't know you had questions. Well, I'm here to answer those questions for you tonight. We're going to I'm going to answer the questions that came to me in my inbox this week because I get a ton of questions every week inside my inbox. But if you have questions, please put them in the comments, in the chat. If you put them in the chat, I will answer them right away. So these are for the people who want to know about wholesaling real estate and you have these certain questions. You have questions about where you can wholesale, what you can wholesale, how can you wholesale, how long does it usually take to get a deal? Those are the type of questions I get, and I got some of those in my inbox this week. So I'm going to answer those questions for y'all, okay? All right, another thing, first things first, last things last. We're going to do some housekeeping. Now, housekeeping is easy. Hello, Mon, how are you? Housekeeping is this. Housekeeping is where I will tell you the rules of engagement for being in my live and in my Hammers and Heels community. First rule is this: if I say something you do not understand, please, please, please ask a question. Second rule is if you've been here before, don't let it, thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time, don't let it be your last time. I'm going to say this the way I normally say it, so I don't tongue tie myself. This is your first time, don't let it be last time. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back because I really do appreciate the support. Now, let me go ahead and do this because y'all think I don't do nothing but play around all day. So I have to prove to y'all that I actually do some work. That's number one. Number one, I got to prove to y'all that I actually do some work. Number two, I got to tell you guys about the work that I do. And I'm going to tell you some things that happened to me because I actually lost I'm going to tell you how I went from $40,000 down to $5,000. That's what I'm going to tell y'all today because y'all going to be like, what? Wait a minute, what? I lost 1, 2, 3 deals, I think it was, right at the closing table. Within the past 2 weeks, I've lost like 3 deals right at the closing table. But y'all don't believe me when I say stuff like this. I lost some deals, and I could have had $40,000. No joke. I could have had $40,000. I went from $40,000. I ended up getting $4,400 for real. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pretend. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Y'all know I keep it real with y'all. I give it to you straight with no chaser because that's the way I want it given to me. The same way I'm going to give it back to you. So while I'm looking into, and I also have my notepad and I have my live stream going on my notepad too, because sometimes I don't see all the questions that are in the comments. So just so you guys know, please and thank you. If you have any questions, feel free. We're talking about wholesaling real estate. I do have the Get Wired Bootcamp. I haven't done it in over almost a year, and this is coming back. You have until midnight to register for only $97. And I know a lot of people are like, why $97? Honey, this boot camp usually costs $497. I'm giving to you for $97 today. Just today at 11:59. So you got like 3 hours and some change. The price is going up. So I don't want y'all to say, oh no, she did this, da 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 da. Okay, here it is. So let me explain to y'all while y'all get y'all questions together. I'm gonna explain to you how I went from 40,000 down to 4,000 in a month. Okay, so I had a deal for one particular property here in Buffalo. Well, no, not all of them are Buffalo because one is Syracuse. Okay, I had a deal for a property here in Buffalo. The property here in Buffalo was supposed to close August 30th. On August 23rd, my client sends me an email saying they no longer want the property. You hear what I said? On August 23rd, a week before we were set to close, we get nothing. We get an email saying that they no longer want the property. And I was like, okay. That was a $15,000 fee that I would have gotten. Gone. Just gone. And when I tell you my heart crushed, yeah, my heart was crushed because it seemed like it just started a domino effect. So I'm at 45,000, now I'm down to 30, right? Then I had 2 properties in Syracuse that was supposed to close. And I would have gotten 7,500. No, I would have gotten 10,000. I was supposed to get another 10,000 off that property. So now, yeah, see where I'm at, right? I would have gotten $10,000 off that property. And the one property closed. The second property, the seller calls me after closing. The buyer calls me after closing of the first property. Well, we didn't realize how much work needed to be done. Excuse me? I sent you pictures. I gave you the code to get into the building. We've been under contract since May. Since May. And now you tell me you don't want the property? You had the property, you saw the property. And you can't make somebody buy a house. But there is some legal things that can happen, and I'm going to explain what happened. So they had given me a deposit. And I made them give me a $2,500 deposit because I only selling a house for $40,000. So they had $2,500 deposit. They do not get that deposit back. That's a given. They're not getting that back. So they literally, the day we were supposed to close, decided they didn't want the property anymore because now it's too much work for them. So if anybody's looking for a home in Syracuse for less than $50,000, it is fire damaged, severe fire damage, but the bones are still good. The moldings are still good. The foundation is still good. The roof is still intact. There's a patch of the roof that needs to be fixed. But I can send you the video of the whole property. I can send you pictures and I can tell you. But if you're looking for a house in Syracuse, New York, under $50,000, it is fire damage though. I don't sugarcoat that. And I told everybody, you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you can still go and see the video of the house. I literally live streamed from the house while I was in Syracuse a couple of months ago and explained to everybody how damaged the house was. This is why I don't understand. You had ample time, sir. You had 4 months to tell me you didn't want this house, but you didn't. So needless to say, I will not be working with him or his attorney any longer because I don't have this to do. So now one house closed, one house didn't. I had a $5,000 EMD. I had a $5,000 assignment fee on this one house. And then what happens is my attorney, of course, is going to take their fee out of it. So I get what's left, which is $4,400 versus the $10,000 I was supposed to get. Y'all see how that works? Okay. So now, remember, I lost 15. Now I've lost 5,600. So what's that? We're at 20,000 right now. I've already lost more than 20,000. Then I was supposed to get $5,000 on another deal. We've been under contract since May with this other deal. What happened? Seller has not paid his attorney, so the attorney has not ordered the title. Did y'all hear me say we've been under contract since May? Now, do I look worried? No, because they've already paid their $16,000 deposit on his property. And that $16,000 equates to the assignment fee that me and my JV partners, because there's 3 of us on this deal, they're my JV partners, we have to split that money. And what happened is, and if you, like I said, if you have any questions about JV partnerships or Anything that I'm saying tonight, please just make sure, put it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to help you, assist you, and also I'll be more than happy to get you guys answer your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. I'm just trying to get myself situated here. So yeah, because that's where it's at. Now another thing, because y'all think I'm joking when I tell you, wholesaling is not for the weak, and it's not for anybody who don't want to hustle. So while I'm losing these deals on this side, I had another gentleman call me, and he's got about 30 properties. I want to say 20 now because I don't really think he got 30. He's got 20 properties that he wants me to sell for him. I have another friend who called me and said, "Hey, I have a 3 unit over in Lovejoy that he wants me to sell for him." And I have another guy who I have a couple people in Oklahoma, because yes, even though I've never stepped foot in the state of Oklahoma yet, I do have properties in Oklahoma where I am wholesaling. Okay. So yeah, it's been a hell. Just lack of a better word. I don't know how to say it. Hey, Reggie, my love. I don't know how to say it to you, but I'm going to say it to you like that. It's been hell. And people don't understand that we are literally in this space. And today I had some bad family news. I've been literally sitting in a hospital all day. So, no, it's crazy. So this life that I live is not for the weak. Everybody going to sit back and say, "Oh, Delisa, you got this." No, this life that I live is not for the weak. I tell everybody that, and I mean that with my whole heart. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and tell you this is easy. But it's if you work for it, it will work for you. If you work your business will work for you and make you some money. Now, let me get to some of these questions that I got, because I did write them down, because that's the kind of person I am. Questions are here. Okay. Now, number one question I got is, how quickly, if I just start wholesaling today, how quickly can I close my first deal? Now, let me explain to you why this question is. You know how they said there's no stupid questions? Yeah. This question, and I'm going to tell you why I would say something like that. And yeah, I said it. Okay. The reason why I say that is because wholesaling real estate depends on you and your work ethic. So how quickly you should close a deal if you start working today depends on how much work you plan to put in it. Not only is how much work you're going to plan to put in it, but where are you wholesaling? Your market has a lot to do with it. What type of properties you're looking for has a lot to do with it. Your location has a lot to do with it. And your work ethic has a heck of a lot to do with it. So for me to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna close the deal in 10 days, or you'll close the deal in 30 days. I don't know your work ethic, so I can't answer that. I don't know where you live or what your markets are. I don't know what your operations are. I don't know what your process is. So I can't say you're going to close a deal in 30 days. I can tell you that the majority of my clients, my coaching clients that have literally gone through my process or taken my class, and they've worked the program the way they're supposed to work it, they've closed 1 to 3 deals in their first 90 days. I can say that, but I can't answer how quickly will you do it, because I don't know you. One, I don't know your work ethic. I don't know your location. I don't know your processes. So nobody, and if you got somebody out there in the world that's telling you they can get you a deal before XYZ LMNOP day, then tell them to do it. Tell them to prove it. And if they can guarantee you that type of deal, they should be able to guarantee it without you paying them any money until after you close the deal. How about that? Because Nobody can guarantee you when you're going to close a deal. Nobody can put that type of guarantee on you. All right. All right. Now, question number 2 that I always get this question. How do you find motivated sellers? First of all, you got to determine what is a motivated seller and what would motivate a seller to sell. You know what I'm saying? So let me explain it like this. In order for a person to be motivated, they have to have a reason. Motivation is a reason. What is the reason you do what you do? What makes you get out of bed in the morning? What makes you do the things that you do? So when you say, how can I find a motivated seller? I'm a little bit like, wait a minute, what? What are you doing? What is your process to find said seller? You see what I'm saying? So if you tell me that, well, I'm going to do foreclosures. Well, that's the motivation. They're being foreclosed on, and they may have to evacuate their home. They may have to leave their home, or you can be a problem to the solution. If they want to stay in their home, you could help them stay in their home. It depends on what it is that you want to do. So, how do you find motivated sellers? You got to figure out what their motivation is first. You have to figure out what their motivation is before you can before you can say if they're motivated or not. And that's work. You can't I can't say, "Oh, I'm going to find a whole bunch of motivated sellers." There's no such thing as a motivated seller. Sellers are motivated by different things. So, how can I find a motivated seller? I have to figure out what's the motivation. If I'm working a list of foreclosures, that's the motivation. If I'm working a list of people that say they're tired of being a landlord, that's the motivation. They want to sell it. I might come across a guy, you might come across somebody who has a portfolio and they're like, you know what? I want to liquidate these assets, put this money into something else, and I want to just live off that. That's what you have to do. So you can't just go and say what's going to make me motivated. What's going to make a seller motivated? What makes a seller motivated? There are different things that are make a seller to motivate. I might be motivated because I want to downsize my house. I might be motivated because I'm getting a divorce. I want to be motivated because maybe my spouse passed away and I don't want to be in this big house by myself anymore. Or all of our children moved away and so we're going to move with them. So we're relocating. Motivation is different. You have to find the motivation. Sometimes motivation is money. Oh, I would sell if I got the right offer. And that's another motivation for some people. So motivation is different. So how do you find motivated sellers? First of all, you need to focus on one thing. And I know y'all hate to hear that because y'all love trying to multitask in these real estate streets. And these are not the streets that you need to be multitasking in. Not until you learn and implement. Okay? So what I mean by that is this. If you learn how to wholesale, say you learn how to wholesale, a lot of you want to come to me and say, I want to learn how to wholesale. Then you'll buy my course or you'll come to my boot camp, but you won't do the work. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You won't do the work. So therefore, you're not really motivated. Some of you want to learn it, but you don't want to do the work. You want something that comes easy, and real estate is not easy. It's rewarding, but it's not easy. You have to focus, you have to learn, you have to implement. That's the only way it's going to be easy for you. Now, the other questions that I have, and this came up in a coaching session that I had this week. And I know it's only Tuesday, but I've had several coaching sessions this week already. The one coaching session that came out, it said, I'm not motivated because I don't have people around me who do what I do. So then I had to break it down. What that person really meant is I'm looking for a community. I'm looking for a network. I'm looking for an association. I'm looking to build connections, but I don't know people who do what I do. So here are some ways you can build your network, build your circle, build your community. And that is Facebook groups. Number one, Facebook groups are amazing. I am in 11 different Facebook groups. Okay. And that's fine because I've met some of my amazing friends in these Facebook groups. I've met some amazing people in these Facebook groups. And I'm telling you, I met business connections. I've met clients, people who want to buy. I've met people who want to sell. I've met people who do credit. I know people who do trucking. I know people who do a plethora of things. And it's amazing to know all of these people because they help me stay motivated. Believe it or not. People don't have to do what you do in order to motivate you, in order to be a support system, in order to hold you accountable for your goals. People don't have to do what you do. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. I have two friends that are entrepreneurs. They are not in my genre, not in my industry at all. Okay. So first one would be Kyra. A lot of you know Kyra. I tag her in my posts. We've gone live several times together. We've done this. Kyra does credit repair, credit strategies, and funding. Does any of that sound like real estate? No. It coexists with real estate because we always say credit and real estate, we go together, but it does not give you, it's not the same industry. So her industry is helping you get your credit on track so that you can go out and possibly buy a house. So her industry is complementary to mine, but it's not. But I guarantee you every morning I get a text message, rise and shine, it's time to grind. I guarantee you every day I get a phone call, what did you do today? Not only what did you do today, she asked me this question, what did you earn today? Now you got a friend that's asking you what you earned. See what I'm saying? Then I have my friend Latasha. Tasha is nowhere near, shout out to Tasha, she just got married. Congratulations, boo. Tasha is nowhere near my industry. Besides the fact that she's a landlord, that's the only part of real estate she done ever dabbled in, buying her own house and buying a rental property. That's it. Okay. Oh, and she did some Airbnbs. But Tasha ran a daycare. Tasha ran 2 six-figure businesses, a daycare and a cleaning business. She's still running her cleaning business. She no longer does a daycare. She moved to a different state. So she said she's not going to do her daycare in that state. But Tasha is the reason why I had one of the biggest months I've ever had. Not this particular month, but when I had my highest grossing month, I grossed almost $200,000 in 1 month. Because Tasha called me every morning at 6 a.m. Yep. Want to know why? Because we got up at 5. So she called me every morning at 6 a.m. She gave me the rundown on her what she had planned for the day, what she was doing for that day, how she was making her money, where she was making her money, what plan she had, what strategy she had. And we brainstormed together every morning at 6 a.m. for the day. And Tasha had one of her biggest months. I had one of my biggest months. I just told you, Tasha does cleaning and Tasha did daycare. None of that sounds like real estate. But this is the thing that people don't understand. When I tell you guys, this is how. I have friends who are attorneys. I have friends who are accountants. And we all get together in our accountability groups and we coexist. Like, hey, did you do this? Oh, you know what? If I was a client of yours, and 9 times out of 10 I am, with the people because Tasha has cleaned my rental properties. And I know kids, and I've referred kids to her daycare. Tasha has referred my real estate services to other people. Kyra has referred my real estate services to other people. I have then in turn referred people to their businesses. This is what you call networking. A person does not have to do what you do in order to be in your network. Their businesses don't even have to be complementary to each other or complementary, however y'all want to say the word, whatever. They don't have to be. So when I tell you that this is what people are doing, this is what people are doing. Okay. Now, another question I get, you just have to build your network. Find you some friends that are money motivated, challenge driven, results oriented, results driven. And that's your tribe. I have friends who own clothing stores. I have friends who print t-shirts. I have friends who embroider. I have friends who sew clothes. I have friends who are part of MLMs. Some friends who sell Tupperware, and they probably selling more Tupperware than you can buy. I have friends, even though Tupperware is getting ready to go bankrupt. I heard that this morning on CNBC. But you have to be able to build your tribe that way. You cannot just build it based on people who do what you do. Yeah, it's great to have people who do what you do, but you also need people who are just going to be in your corner and motivate you to win. Okay? I'm serious. I swear by this. My friends do so many different things. It's not even funny. It's not. I have a friend who basically, I don't want to say sell sex, but it's not my friend, it's my sister. My sister has a business where she's coaching women on how to embrace their sexuality. It has nothing to do with real estate, but I gave her the name of her business. I gave her gave her activities and things that her people can do. You can help each other without being in each other's way. You can help each other without being in competition with each other. I collaborate with other real estate investors, other real estate brokers, other real estate agents all the time. I had a real estate agent who said, hey, I got a client who wants to sell 30 properties. He don't want to list them, but I know you do a lot off market. Here's the list. Have at it. Okay. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. All right. Now, another question I get besides the network, I get, how much money does it cost to get me started wholesaling? Here's why that question aggravates my soul. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're not willing to invest in yourself, nobody else is going to be willing to invest in you either. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back because y'all didn't hear me. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, other people aren't willing to invest either. I'm going to tell you, I started wholesaling with $0 out of pocket. Zero. But now, 8-9 years later, I have $1,200 a month that I paid for my VA because I realized I don't like making phone calls. And I knew that before I even got into wholesaling. I never liked making phone calls. I worked in collections for 20 plus years. I made 50 phone calls a day max. It was a miracle if I ever made over 100 phone calls a day, which is what they wanted you to make. But I guarantee you, I probably hit higher numbers than anybody else in the office because you got to work smarter, not harder. Okay. Now, I paid $1,200 to a VA. I paid $97 to the service. I paid $250 to my skip tracer. So let's do the math. How much do it cost for me to wholesale every month? 97, 250, and 1,200. That's $1,547. If you don't have that, you're going to have to do a lot more work. You're going to have to make phone calls. You're going to have to, go driving for dollars. You're going to have to put a lot of sweat equity into it if you don't have any money to put into it. Now, can you do that? Yes, because that's how I started. I started by driving for dollars, riding around the neighborhood, writing down numbers and skip tracing them myself because I know how to skip trace. I just told you, I worked in collections for 20 plus years. You don't stay in that industry that long if you don't know how to skip trace. So, and like I said, I didn't make a lot of phone calls. I hate making phone calls. So now I pay the VA service to make phone calls. They work 40 hours a week, 5-day call for 8 hours a day, five times a week. And I pay them $1,200 a month. They send me the leads. I now have a director of operations. They take those leads, they call those leads, they set up appointments. And when they set up the appointments, they send it to my JV partners because now I don't want to go look at houses anymore. So my JV partners get to go look at the house. They go look at the house, they take the pictures, I come back, we run numbers, we send out offers. If the offers are good, If the offer is accepted, JV partner, and we close, JV partner gets 40%, the director of operations gets 20%, and my back and 40% comes back to me. So I'm sorry. Yeah, 40, 40, 20. Yeah, 80, 20. So I'm only getting 40% of the deal. So if we get 10,000, my office gets 4,000. My director of operations is going to get 2,000, and the JV partner is going to get 4,000. That's how that works. I don't want to make phone calls. I like making deals. I like negotiating deals. I like talking to people. I don't like making phone calls. So if you don't have $1,500 a month, you're not going to hire my VA service. You're going to hire someone else. You might pay $300. I started out paying $300 a month for my VA because they only worked $320 because she only worked 40 hours a week. She only worked 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. So it came out to be 20 hours, and she charged me $4 an hour. So I was paying $80 a week. So that's $320. See what I'm saying? And then I was paying for the service, and I was paying for the skip tracing, and I was still getting deals. So it just depends on what you can afford. If you can't afford that yet, because I am a person who will tell you time and time again, don't spend money until you make money. I didn't start paying for VA services and PropStream and Deal Machine and skip tracing. I didn't pay for that at first. At first, when I first started out, I drove for dollars just in my local area because believe me, if you ride through Buffalo, New York, you're going to see a whole bunch of houses that you think are ready to be skip traced. Ready to be sold real quick, vacancies. And I started out with distressed properties, and I looked at the most distressed house on the block. I went to the best neighborhood and picked the ugliest house, called and made deals. That's how I did it. I would look them up on a county website, and then I would take that information I found on a county website, and I will put it into truepeoplesearch.com. I'm giving y'all gems. I hope y'all writing this down. And I would put it into truepeoplesearch.com, call these people up, and make an offer. That's how I closed my first deal I did was on the MLS. I'm not gonna lie. I found it on the MLS. My second deal was a zombie house. My third deal was a zombie house. Actually, I think my first deal was a zombie house too. I closed 2 deals my first month. I closed a zombie house and I closed an MLS deal. So that's how you have to do that. Okay. So how much is it going to take? Depends on how much time you have and how much money you have. If you have money to do this up front, yes, you can. Now, here's the gag. If you want to get a skip trace list from me, I'll sell you a list. You tell me what you want, I'll pull your list, I'll skip trace it, I'll get it skip traced through my skip tracer, and I'll send it back to you. But there is a cost for that. And you will make your own phone calls. My VA wouldn't be making the calls, you'll be making your own calls. Now, if you want to do that, that saves you some time and some money. But I send about 10,000 addresses to my skip tracer every month. And they charge me anywhere from $250 to $300, depending on what he got to do with it. And then he gets it back to me within 24 hours. Sometimes depends on what day of the week I send it to him. So that's what we're doing. All right. So sweat equity or cash money. And how it's going to work, that's on you. I can't answer that. That's one question I can't answer. How much money did it start? I started with $0 out of pocket. The first system I bought into was Deal Machine. And I liked it. I still like it. I don't use it as much as I used to, but they've got some new things. Then before I bought a VA, I paid for my dialer, and I used to sit here myself and call and and I spent $150 a month on a dialer. And I will call and make these calls every day and document inside the file so that I could always go back and see what I said, who did what, how, who, what, where, when, why, and how. But there's so many different ways, and I don't know what you're comfortable with. I don't know how your process is, so I can't answer what you're going to spend. But I can tell you, you can't start wholesaling real estate with $0 out of pocket. How do I know? I did it. Okay? All right. Now, what's the easiest way to close a deal? And this might be my last question because you guys aren't asking any questions. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Now, the quickest way to close a deal is a JV. What? Work with somebody. Why would I split my money? Because it's not your money. And if you don't make it, it's not your money. That's just that plain and simple. Until you make it, it's not yours. So, what I would suggest you do is this: find a person who has a property, help them find a buyer. Or if you have a property, JV with somebody who may have a buyer and split that money because half of something is better than zero. Amen. Let the church say amen. Put amen in the comments if y'all listening, if y'all still here with me. Put amen in the comments. Let's tell them what the people, let's tell the people what they want. Okay. You have to know for certain that a JV deal is going to be the quickest way that you're going to close a deal because half of the deal is already done. If you have a buyer's list and your buyer is telling you what you're looking for, you can go to for sale by owners. You can go to in these wholesale groups where these people are posting all these deals, and you can see if that deal matches up with your buyer's criteria and say, hey, I might have a buyer for this. On the flip side, if you have a deal, post it on a Facebook page, post it in a Facebook group, and advertise it on for sale by owner, advertise it on marketplace, wherever you're going to advertise that, and get JV with someone to find you a buyer. It's just that simple. I JV all the time. I just told y'all. I JV, the majority of my wholesale deals are JV wholesales. Now, mind you, it's JVing in a different way where they're helping me. They're doing my boots on the ground work. They're going to see, I got a gnat flying around here. They're going to see all these properties that I can't go see because I'm in New York, or I might be in Georgia, or I might be in Texas. And that property might be in Wisconsin. That property might be in Memphis. It might be in Florida. So I do a lot of virtual wholesale. So there's that. So that's that one. And what else? What systems do I use? Okay. Let me explain. I pull my list from PropStream. If you are ready to start wholesaling and you want to do a trial with PropStream, DM me and I'll send you the link so you can get a 7-day trial for free. Doesn't make sense for you to spend money if you don't know how to work the system. Okay, that's number one. Then I have a skip tracer. I will give you my skip tracer's information. Matter of fact, everybody who signs up for the boot camp, for the Get Wired Bootcamp that we're starting on October 13th, they're going to get the free trial. They're going to get my skip tracers and contact information. They're going to get my systems. Okay. Now, what other systems do I use? I use a VA service, which I'll be glad to give everybody the VA service information. I'll give you 3 or 4 different VAs because I've gone through 3 or 4 different VAs over the course of the past 2 to 3 years until I found the right one. It's just how it is. So I will show you how I pull my list on PropStream because I pick 5 different cities and states that I deal with. And the first time I enter a new market, I run a specific list. Then I take that same market and then I run my secondary list. And I take that same market again and I run my tertiary list. That's the first, the second, and the third. And then I leave that market. So all of my cities and states that I'm in right now are going through my first round. I have some that are on the second, some that are on the third. And then I run them through. I pull this list from PropStream with my criteria on it. And then I send that list over to my skip tracer. He sends it back to me. I look and see how it is. I rearrange it, and then I send it over to my VA. And they start calling it the very next business day that they get it. They will start calling it. I always try to send it to them on a Friday, so they start calling on Monday. because they like to start new, fresh lists on a Monday. So they'll get that list, they'll call that list, and they'll send me warm leads. The warm lead doesn't go to me. It goes to my email, and in the lead, they send me the person's name, their address, their phone number, their email if they have it, how much they want for the property address, and a recording of the phone call. So we can hear what they're doing before they even do it. And then what do we do? We call the director of operations. Did y'all hear what I said? The director of operations, not Delisa. The director of operations calls the warm lead, sets up the appointment. And it's like, well, how they set up this appointment? You don't know, you can't verify it. Nope. Because once they set up the appointment, my director of operations is going to go into our Slack group. They're going to go into the channel for each state. Now, if any of my people are on here and you are in my JV program with me right now, you can verify this is how you guys can say how this is how it works. You can confirm what I'm saying. The director of operations will send the lead with the appointment, and they will put it in the state channel because we have a channel for each state. So let's just say Tampa, Florida. They'll put it in the Florida group, and they'll say, hey, can anybody do a walkthrough and take some pictures in Tampa, Florida with the zip code on Saturday at 2 p.m. All the people that are in my JV group that service Tampa will then say, hey, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. The director of operations is going to give it to the first person. They're going to give it to the first person. And that first person is going to say, hey, I can do it. When you say that, they're going to private message you the name, the address, the phone number, the date, and the time of the appointment. You have 24 hours after your appointment to send us the photos or the videos or whatever you took. We then, within 48 hours, will have an offer out to the seller. I haven't made a phone call, but I'm paying out a lot of money to not make these phone calls. Okay? All right. Now, when that happens, and say that happens 2 or 3 times a week, now the people, the boots on the ground are all energized. Hi, Bashar. How are you? All the people are energized, and they're saying, they're asking, and they see how this system works. So that's what we do. Now, some of y'all want to do it that way. Some of y'all may not want to do it that way. If you want to work with me in this, can we get a link to purchase? Just DM me if you can. You can message me you're on YouTube right now. So if you can message me on YouTube, Brashawn, I would definitely do it. I'll send you the link. But that's how my system works. Y'all got that? Now your system, because you're just starting out, your system is going to start differently. Your system may start with, hey, I drove for dollars. I found the seller. I called and I made an offer. They said yes. Now let's break this down. 1547 times 12 cost me $18,000 a year to run my wholesale division, right? But guess what? If the goal is for us to do $125,000 a month, I'm not going to sweat this $18,000. If I can make in 1 month my whole budget for the year, then you know what's going to happen? I'm going to put that money into an account, and I'm going to let everything in there get automatically deducted every month. And that's how you should be doing it. We're going to be talking about in this. Oh, thank you. What's that? Laud? I'm going to say Lord. That's cute. What I'm telling you is this: when you don't sweat the small stuff, you have to get to the point where you're going to be making the money that you want to make. You're going to have goals. Now, I told you, we have what we call the Get Wired Wholesaling Real Estate Bootcamp that's going to start on October 13th. On October 13th, with this bootcamp is for 4 weeks. 4 weeks, twice a week. We meet every Sunday and every Wednesday. And I've already got the dates mapped out. I've already got the curriculum mapped out. It's different than the curriculum we've done before. And we're going to do this. And what we're going to be doing is this. We're going to, for 4 weeks, twice a week, that's 8 sessions. We're going to be meeting. We're going to be learning. We're going to be implementing. And you're going to be able to network with the other people that are in the group. You're also going to be coached. Y'all hear what I said? By me. This is going to be a live training, and it's going to be a workshop, which means you're going to be given assignments. You're going to be given action steps that you have to take action on very quickly so that you can actually close the deal. The goal is to have you with a deal by the end of the 4 weeks. I know I can get you there if you want to work. That's the goal, my lovelies. But y'all don't hear me because y'all thinking, oh no, she's not going to do that. Yes, I am. I sure am. My goal is to get you a deal within the next within those 4 weeks. That's the goal. So when I say who wants this, now we're going to be talking about this to give you an idea because y'all don't believe me. So let me just say, I gotta pull it up so I can see what the heck I'm talking about. I always do the wrong thing. Because the first week, you're going to learn how to talk to sellers, how to negotiate with buyers. You're going to learn how to implement your processes. We're going to teach you this 4 weeks. You're going to learn how to do a business, all for $97. Yes, Rashawn. You think I'm joking? No. And it's only until midnight. After midnight, the price is going to go up. So, well, $11.59. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of how this is working and what's going to be included in this. Hello, thank you all for who's joining me on Instagram. Okay, so on week 1, we're going to be finding sellers, building your buyers list, learning how to write a script so you can pitch yourselves to these sellers. And we're going to find your niche. What I mean by find your niche, we're going to find not only your niche, we're going to find your location, which is your market. We're going to learn your markets. We're going to learn what it takes to build a market and how you work a market. I'm going to be teaching you guys week 2. We're going to be making live phone calls. I'm going to show you how to build your list. I'm going to give you my skip tracer so you can skip trace the list. I'm going to give you my systems. I'm going to show you the 3 different lists that I build for each when I enter a new market. So if I enter into Minneapolis, Minnesota, I'm going to teach you the 3 lists that I build. The first month, I'm going to pull this list. And if I'm getting deals out of that, I'm going to rerun that list and keep running it and just increase the size of it. The next month, I'm going to build a different list. And then the next 3 months, I build 3 months worth of lists off of one market. That's just how I do my business. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. Week 2, we're making live deals. We're analyzing deals. We're going to learn how to run our numbers inside and out. We're going to show you how to do pictures, what to say, when to say it. And also, we're going to talk about the most important part. Another important key aspect of this is what happens when the deal can't be made? What if there's no deal? What do you do? I just told you. I went from $40,000 in assignment fees down to $4,000 in 1 month. Yeah, because I lost several deals. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the pretty, besides me. And then we're going to learn how to vet the people that you're working with, your JV partners, your accountant, your attorney, your title company. We're going to talk about how to work with real estate agents. We're going to be showing you and telling you how to pull deals off of the MLS. We're going to be doing all of that. And all of that, we're also going to be teaching you how to virtual wholesale, how to wholesale land. We're going to be running those numbers. And then week 4, we're going to talk about closing systems. And when I say systems, like I just told you how my system operates, we're going to implement some systems for you. And I'm going to go by each person one by one and give you what those systems are. So you can get all that. We got about, it's 8:53 in my world, so almost 9 o'clock. You guys got a little bit under 3 hours to get all of that for $97. After midnight, once the clock strikes midnight, that price is going up. Now, I normally charge $497 for this boot camp, but because I'm still celebrating my 7 years as a real estate entrepreneur, 100% real estate entrepreneur, 7 years. August 17th was my 7th year, and I said I was going to celebrate for the rest of this year. So we are celebrating, and so it's $97. After midnight, the price is going to go up, though. So like I said, I normally would charge you $497, so almost $500. So you're getting more than a 90% discount, more than an 80% discount. Bad at math, unless I got a calculator, honey. All right, now, you guys, what questions do you have in regards to wholesaling real estate? Because I gave you the questions that I've been getting all week in my inbox and throughout my coaching calls. So now I'm giving you the questions. I'm giving you guys the now I had some questions here and I lost it. I don't know where they went. I don't know where your question. Oh, there they are. I got hello. Can you give an extra day on boot camp at $97? And I gotta stick to my guns because the sale started actually yesterday. The sale was actually started yesterday. Yep, it went out to my Hammers and Hills group yesterday, went out to my Black Women Invest in Real Estate group yesterday, it went out to my email list yesterday, so everybody knew about it. But I will tell you this, if you can't afford the entire $97 tonight, the payment processor accepts Klarna, they accept Afterpay, and they accept Affirm. So if you have those processes, you can do that. What are your parameters for rehab cost? Different markets, different costs. I'm going to ask you, what are your parameters for rehab cost? Okay, rehab costs. Let me explain. I estimate my rehab cost based on the square footage of the house. And it depends on, and I give a range. And the reason why I say a range is because you don't know. I'm being honest. As somebody who's been a real estate investor since they were 26 years old, I bought my first rental property when I was 26 years old. I am now 53. So that's 27 years. It's 26 years. I'm going to tell you why. Because I was 26, but I would turn 27 the same year. So I bought my first rental property when I was 26 years old. So in 26 years of real estate, here's what I know. A rehab budget is never going to come out exact. And you have to give a range based on, like you said, the market. And you don't know what type of finishes are going to go into that rehab. So you can't just say my rehab budget is going to be this. So what we do is we do anywhere between, I'll give you the rule of thumb, a cosmetic rehab, lipstick and mascara, basic rehab, doesn't need a lot of remodeling. You might put in a kitchen, you might put in a bathroom. Okay. That's going to be anywhere between $25 and $30 per square foot. Okay. A full gut rehab is going to be anywhere between $45 and $75 per square foot based upon, or you can even go $50 to $75 based upon the market, the neighborhood. If this is a higher end neighborhood, you're going to put higher end finishes. If this is a rental neighborhood, you might not put high end finishes in. And I saw today in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, I saw one of the girls in there who coaches and trains the rehabs and stuff in there. And she was saying the same thing. She was like, stop putting these type of floors in your flips, because this is rental property quality. So you have to know the difference before you say which one it is. You have to know the difference. Then you have to go with that. Even with that, you still have a how do I put this? You still have to know. Now, if this is a complete tear down or it's a land and you're building on it, that's minimum $150 per square foot and can go up to $300 or $400 per square foot based on what type of finishes you're going to put in it. It might be a little bit more than that. You never know. Okay, so you have to know exactly how you're going to do that. How you're going to do that market. So I hope I answered your question. I'm not exactly sure, but how do I create my rehab budget? I base it on my knowledge. Now, me, something different. Mine might come out a little closer to exact than yours will, because I know the price of drywall at Home Depot. You don't. Unless you want to flip houses, I suggest that's one of the homework assignments you actually have in the boot camp, is to go to Home Depot and start looking at the prices and familiarizing yourself with the layout of your local Home Depot, your local Lowe's, or your preferred hardware store and stuff like that. Because you want to know the price of drywall. You want to know the price of basic flooring. You want to know how much is a standard window size. What is a standard window size? How big do the windows go? You guys need to know that. But until you learn it, you base it on square footage. So if you have a house that's say 1,500 square feet and you're doing a cosmetic rehab, but you want to put some higher end floors in, some new windows and stuff like that, it's going to be $30 a square foot. Your budget is $45,000. That's it. If it's a bigger kitchen or you're doing some rearranging of the current floor plan, that's called a remodel, not a renovation. A renovation is where you keep everything intact, but you just replace and upgrade. A remodel is where you move some things around. Like I know I've walked into a front door before and it was the kitchen, but you might not want your kitchen to be the front door. So you move it to the back of the house, or you move it to the side of the house and you put the living room there. That's called a remodel. And that's going to cost you a little more than a basic rehab. So it depends on how you do your structure and what your buyers are going to do with the structure. Buyers are going to determine how much your rehab costs are going to cost. And I guarantee you, your rehab budget and your buyer's rehab budget is never going to match. So don't try. Just have your numbers somewhat right. Okay, that was a good question, though. I appreciate it. Any other questions? I did it. I made it an hour. Just about an hour. Now, so for those of you who would like to join me in boot camp, you can. I'm going to drop the link. You guys can let me know what you want to do. And if you want to sign up. And if you do, I'll see you in boot camp. We start October 13th at 7 p.m. We will meet every Sunday night. And I think I gave you guys the right link. I'm not sure. Okay. And I'll drop it in the comments here, because I'm figuring out how to do my systems and stuff now. Okay. I did it. Yay. All right. So, and that's what we're doing. So if you guys want to join in, beautiful. Join us in the boot camp. Boot camp is going to be amazing, and you will learn some things. So just to give you a part of what we're doing, we're going to be teaching you how to do virtual wholesaling, local wholesaling, and how to wholesale land. We're going to teach you the math, how to do the buyer's math, how to do the seller's math. And when I say buyer's math, there's 3 types of buyers. We went over this a couple of weeks ago when we did the 7-part series for the wholesaling. We went over this. So you have homeowners, you have flippers, you have landlords. So there are 3, those are the majority. There's more than 3 buyers, but those are the 3 you're most likely to encounter when you're wholesaling real estate. So that's that. So when you are wholesaling real estate, you need to know your 3 buyers. You need to know their criteria. A landlord is going to want something that doesn't require a lot of work. He might even want something that has tenants in it already. Yes, you can wholesale properties that have tenants in it, especially if the tenants are decent and they don't want to move. You find somebody who wants to be a landlord. Yes, you might find distressed properties. So you need to start looking in your market and seeing what is there. And I'm going to show you guys how to pull those lists. Like I said, I'm going to show you how to pull the list and see and determine what it is you should be focused on. Some people want to do foreclosures. Some people want to do tax delinquent properties. So you have to know the rules and regulations of that. And where and how do you find buyers? Okay. And I'm going to answer this. I know you were a little bit late, so I'm going to answer this because I did answer it in the beginning. Where do I find buyers? First of all, I pull a list, and I might start my list with vacant houses, tired landlords, senior buyers, foreclosures, whatever. And I'll start my list that way. Or I might say, you know what? Hey, I know I've hung out at the landlord tenant court, and I find buyers there. You said buyers. I just gave you sellers. Let me correct myself. Where do I find buyers? Okay. Where is that thing? I posted something in Facebook the other day. And if you follow me on Facebook, I posted this, and where the heck did I do? Let me see if I still have it. Okay, no, I don't have it there. I know where I have it at. Let me find it really quickly. And I'm going to read to you guys what I posted on Facebook, because y'all don't believe me that this works. Okay, I posted this. I have various fix and flip properties available for assignment, all vacant and easy to show. You can also be direct to seller on most of them, and I'll teach you guys how to go direct to seller so you don't have to even have your assignment fee show up on the closing statement. DM me your email address and or phone number. Serious buyers only. Some package deals available as well. Prices range from $80,000 to $200,000. I wasn't lying. I have about 30 properties, and I told you guys this earlier. I have about 30 properties that I'm working right now, and they fit this criteria. So instead of listing all 30 properties, what did I do? I posted this, and I dropped it in like 4 different Facebook groups, and I think on my Facebook page. And I have 30 new buyers. And it took me 5 minutes to write that post. I got 30 new buyers. I'm going to spend some time tonight talking to my kids about the things that happened today in the family, because I told you guys we had some major family things go on today. So I'm going to talk to my kids about what happened in the family, and then I'm going to spend some time inputting the email addresses that I received and the phone numbers that I received into my email list and into my text message list. So now when I'm getting ready to show a house, I send a text message, I send an email. They come or they don't come. And that's how I find my buyers. My buyers then become loyal customers because they're like, wait a minute. She gave me a good deal. She knew her numbers were spot on, and she wasn't trying to head crack me on the assignment fee. Now keep in mind, any house will sell in any market as long as it's priced right. I'll say it again. Any house will sell in any market as long as it's priced right. It's your job as a wholesaler to find the deal for your buyer and to make money for your seller. That's the wholesaler's job. You are a problem solver. It's not just a check. You are offering a service. You are the solution to your seller's problems, and you're the service that your buyer needs. So that's how you make money in wholesaling. Capiche? Capiche. Now, and I'm still getting more people who are telling me that they're still interested in these properties. Okay? So that's how you do it. You're welcome, Aunt. I appreciate your question. It was a good one. So now I'm gonna get off this. I was about to say get off this phone. Like we on the phone actually having a conversation. I'm about to hang it up for the night. If you guys have any other questions you think of, send them to me in my DMs and I'll come on live and we can answer the questions, and you can always come back and play it back. I do this once or twice a week. Tomorrow we'll be talking about we're going to talk about some other creative strategies. We're going to talk about some non-traditional wholesale deals. Wholesale deals that you wouldn't think are wholesale deals. That's what we'll be talking about tomorrow. So we're going to be going through the whole process of some things that you don't know you can wholesale that you actually can. So, and I'll be giving you some little steps here and there. But like I said, join boot camp. You get the full gamut because it's crazy out here in these real estate streets. I've wholesale probates, foreclosures, lease options, Airbnb units, a couple mobile homes. I really don't like mobile homes. I'll leave that to the pros. And if you're interested in mobile homes, I will refer you to my friend Nicole, who does mobile homes. Just like I don't new build, I don't do new construction, but I have a friend who does new construction. So if that's what you want to do, buy some land and build some brand new houses, I will refer you to my friend and you can go that route. Okay. So that's where we're at. Now, you guys, like I say all the time, if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time, don't let it be last time. And I will also leave you with this. You can choose to be anything you want in this world. I just hope you choose to be kind. Because at some point in your life, someone has been kind to you. And it's a very cool thing to pay kindness forward. So that means you be kind to someone else. And if we all, not only does it make you a better person, but if we all did it, it will make this world a much better place to live in. All right? So no matter what you do or who you love, I love you. Have a good night, guys. I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go take a shower, talk to my kids, probably have a glass of wine because it's been that type of day. And then I'm going to go to bed after I finish this next hour or two of work. Don't forget, you have until 11:59 p.m. tonight to purchase or register for the Get Wired Wholesaling Bootcamp for $97. After that, the price is going to go up. If you don't have 97 because your checking and savings ain't, the math ain't mathing, we do accept Klarna after paying a firm. So you can do it that way too. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Thank you, Get Pedals. Have a good night.